Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Welcome to the Brass Ass Podcast, folks. I'm your host, Suitcase Ace. Hey, look, I got something really good for you today, so I want you to listen up. And this one is how to get your kid cut at tryouts. Okay, look. So you want to get your kid to the next level. I know that. Or maybe you're tired of finishing seasons with a very poor record and are looking now to tag on with a top rep team in your area. You know what? It is a tough situation because you know your kid is unbelievably skilled and you've been there game in and game out, and witnessing all the things that your son or daughter has done right. But how do you make a new coach, right, who you've never seen your son or daughter believe you? Well, I'm going to start off with how not to approach a new coach or a manager at tryouts, folks, right? Number one, you never badmouth your son or daughter's current team. Because you know what? There's no worse way to approach a hockey season with a new team, new coach, than to bash where he or she came from. And because the minute you do this, most coaches are already alerted to investigate how many team jackets that you collected in how many years. And there's no better way to alert a coach to a potential delusional parent that causes internal bullshit than to bash the current situation and put your kid above it. And never, send a schedule of your son or daughter's games more than once to the manager or the coach. No, I'll tell you why. Some coaches have great intentions, folks, and you know what? And some use the send me a schedule of your daughter or son's upcoming games as a way to let the parent down easy. The thing is, either way, if you send the schedule games, right, there is never any reason then to follow up. Well, let's put it this way. I'll put it this way for you. If you ever given your phone number out to someone you find attractive at the bar, and they haven't called you back, what are they trying to tell you? Well, folks, guess what? Hockey, the tryouts, the situation is no different. Because, if a coach really wants to make a priority to watch one of the games, that coach will do it. He or she will make that happen. Trust me. Either way, never sit back and wait for a coach to call back. And what I use the 1 week rule, folks. And the 1 week with no contact equals no interest. That's my rule of thumb there, folks. And at tryouts, you know what? I'm going to give you a tip on how not to look like an insane, delusional parent, right? Well, number one, you never send a resume. No, nothing says I'm a nut bar than a 3-page resume outlining everything your kid has done right out on the ice, folks. No, because I'll tell you why. Most qualified coaches can make those decisions themselves, and if you don't think so, then why are you asking to bring your kid to this tryout in the first place, right? Now, look, this is not a way to get on the coach's good side, folks. That's why I'm telling you right off the bat than to insult their intelligence, trust me. And you know what? Never send a video. I think I got a library of player videos dating for the last 35 years. Never send a video. You know what? Honestly, you might as well walk around the rink with a blinking sign on your forehead saying, I'm a raving, lunatic, right? And yes, delusional. And come on, a video, don't do that, right? I know I'm being serious, mom and dads out there, right? Because the fact that you've taken the time, or even better yet, pay someone to put your 9-year-old or 10-year-old son or daughter, their games on the clip, is NFG, right? Yeah, bad news and speaks loud, right? About your parenting outlook, which is a delusional cycle. All right, so don't do that. And I got the truths about tryouts, folks. What can I say about tryouts, folks, other than they suck? They really do. They suck for players. They suck for coaches. And they really suck for anyone who has that vested interest in the team or the player. Well, on one hand, yes, it's exciting because it's a fresh start of a new season. The actual trial portion, though, has always sucked. And as a player, it's stressful. And there's always that thought in the back of your player's head, in your mind, of wondering what the coaches are thinking, and trying to wonder where you fit in, if at all, with the team that you're trying out with. And I used to think the tryouts were stressful as players, folks. They're even more stressful as a coach. Yes, they are. And regardless of what you think or what some different people say, it's never easy to cut kids. No, it's not. There's always so much more that goes in the tryouts besides judging, someone's ability or talent. And for me, it's always a constant battle to find the right players to fill the right roles needed to have that successful team, And really, there's no better way to say that, it's not about picking the best players, folks. It's really about picking the right players, right? In other words, you don't build a good hockey team, folks, with 20 guys or 20 girls, who can only score goals. No, you don't. You need all positions covered. But you obviously need skilled players, but you also need the players who can play defense, kill penalties, be physical. You want those two-way players. The list goes on. And there always needs to be the team dynamic, right? The chemistry. It only takes one or two to screw things up and ruin it. Successful teams, folks, have a bond that usually it's often hard to explain, right? Especially when they're all on the same page and they all buy in. No, you know what? It's not that they always get along with each other. No, but I think the difference is that there's a mutual respect amongst the players and a commitment reaching the same goal. Yeah, the end goal. Yes, and each player is truly, genuine in these feelings with those picking the right players. I'm telling you, we all know that is one thing to say, but it's another thing to believe it and actually do it. Okay, folks, I know that. But with all that being said, I've always tried to keep the same perspective going in the tryouts. Yeah, put the needs of the team ahead of the individual, and don't stress about trying to please everyone. No, I don't try to do that anymore, right? Because trying to please everybody, folks, which includes every single parent, this is a recipe, folks, guess what? For disaster. It is. And no matter what happens, someone's always going to be unhappy, right? So for the players, my advice for tryouts is to go in with the attitude of controlling what you can control. And these includes things like your work ethic, attention to details, and playing with a little sense of desperation in your game during the tryouts, folks. You got to play like it's the playoffs, man, if you want to make that team. And also remember, everything happens for a reason, folks. They really do. You know what? So whether you make a team or not, you got to learn something and become a better person through the process, right? And for my fellow coaches out there, you got to go into tryouts with that open mind and a plan of what you need to build, how to build that team, that successful team for the long haul, right? Because taking that extra top end talent might look in the short term, but is that really the best thing for your team to be peaking and playing its best hockey? You know what? You need to pick up that team that's going to be peaking in the playoffs, not in September, October, right? You need the team that's going to be going the distance for you, right? And at the end of the day, always go and trust your gut feelings, folks, right? Because you know what? It's crazy to think, but nearly every time I have trusted my gut, I feel like I've made the right decision, right? And you know what? The ones that come back and bit me in the ass are the times I went against what my gut was telling me. And that is the truth. Folks, yes, you're listening to the Brass Ass Podcast, folks. I am your host, Suitcase Ace. You have just listened to the rest of the story.